Hello and indeed hello, MrVanleider in his house, and the first of a new series for me. The gameplay is completely irrelevant. This gameplay here is mine, but for the rest of this series I'll use mine or I'll use other people's. I've still got quite a few gameplays for my presenting series, which I'm now going to use for this. And if you'd like to be added to the list of beast gameplays to be featured as a background, send me a YouTube message. Yeah, so I don't really think a traditional audio intro's good enough to introduce this series, so I really need to bring the production values here, and in order to do that I think I'll just pause the video. Yeah, I gotta tell you that that thing took all of 35 seconds to knock together, so you know, if you fancy hitting that thumb up button, I think we can all agree that I deserve it. So yeah, country review. I'm going to take a look at randomly picked aspects of some various countries, and I'll give them a mark out of 10. I'll then round up with my sort of overall opinion of the country at the end and give it an overall mark out of 10. It will sort of be like IGN's game reviews, but more racist. So yeah, category number 1 for North Korea is food. Now I thought that the local cuisine in North Korea would probably consist mostly of really crazy shit like fried spiders, scorpions preserved in brine, and grasshoppers and stuff. But sadly, because that would be a lot funnier, I was wrong. South Korea is my point of reference for this, and they tend to eat quite a lot of rice. They tend to eat you know, chicken, pork, beef, fish, any variety of vegetables. To be honest, today you can probably get pretty much any international dish on the streets of Seoul in South Korea, fast food or you know whatever it is you fancy. Because of North Korea's frankly mad political system, famine's been pretty commonplace there since the early 90s when the Soviet Union collapsed. The Soviet Union provided most of North Korea's imports as one of the only international countries that was prepared to even talk to it. So that happening really screwed the North Koreans over. They can't obviously just grow their own food because they haven't really got any modern agricultural machinery, and unless you count a donkey as modern or machinery. Yeah, altogether North Korea is probably one to be avoided by the international culinary elite and Gordon Ramsay. So my overall mark for food is 2. So yeah, moving on. Crazy political systems unsurprisingly makes my next category politics, and here North Korea scores pretty fucking highly in the entertainment stakes, as long as you don't live there. The country is led by a guy who's been dead since 1994. This guy is Kim Il-sung, who was the founder of the North Korea in 1948. And he's been running the show since then. Obviously being dead, he doesn't tend to have a lot to do with day-to-day politics, so that's taken care of by his son, who's Kim Jong-il. Now this guy is pretty badass because he's the commander of the 4th largest standing army in the world. Obviously, like his father, he's also pretty mad, so he's got a fear of flying apparently. He's whenever he's travelled for state visits to Russia or to China, where you'd have to go to as North Korean president, he's always gone by private armoured train because he's scared of flying so much. And apparently on one of these trips to Russia he had live lobsters airlifted onto the train every day by a helicopter, which would you know, hover along side the train, and they'd pass the lobsters over. So yeah, pretty badass, pretty mad. He's He's also apparently a really huge film fan and has seen every film that's ever been made. So I really hope he's seen Team America World Police, because that would be entertaining. Yeah, so, you know, my score for politics is, unsurprisingly, 10. That kind of just gives me time to sort of briefly sum up here and tell you a few more crazy things about North Korea. One of my favourites is that on the border with South Korea, in the big demilitarised zone, there's the world's largest freestanding flagpole on the North Korean side. You know, just by way of showing off. And I can't imagine there's too many South Koreans who wander past and think, well, we've got a car industry, the fastest broadband speeds in the world, democracy, a really good international football team, but that is one fucking tall flagpole. I'm moving here. I can't see that happening very often, and yeah, just a pretty crazy country. Overall, therefore, my rank for North Korea is a solid 9 out of 10. The reason it doesn't score full marks is because I wouldn't want to live there very much, and I think that's probably, well, it's important enough for 1 mark out of 10 anyway, but otherwise in the entertainment stakes, which are those that I care about, yeah, North Korea's a pretty solid score, and I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Obviously, if you've enjoyed this little gameplay slash review of a country, let me know, because I'll do some other ones next. I'll maybe do England next, you know, because I can be even more biased and racist than I have been to North Korea. So yeah, let me know, rate if you wouldn't mind, comment if you wouldn't mind, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Drink a mojito if you wouldn't mind, and grow a moustache if you wouldn't mind.